Hello, a very good morning to all. Myself, Khushbu Bhalodia, Assistant Professor, Chemical Engineering Department, LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. My subject is Green Technology and Sustainable Development. In this lecture of Green Chemistry and Sustainable Development, we will see about the green solvents, what are the types of green solvents and which solvents comes under the category of green solvents. So now let us start with this general instruction regarding the solvents, where mainly solvents are used in our industry. Organic solvents, that is mainly used for the dispersing of wax, grease, rubber, fats, oils, varnish and etc. For the dry cleaning purpose also solvents are using. For the degreasing and for the cleaning we are using toluene or methyl alcohol as a solvent. In a printing industry, in a surface coating industry and in a painting industry. So these are just only a chemical industry where we are using a huge amount of solvent. So recently I can say that every year million tons of solvent are simply discharging to our environment, which leads towards a harmful impact. Nowadays we are facing a global warming effect, greenhouse gas emissions, right, at a global level. So all these things that can be happen due to the certain level of usage of harmful solvents, or I can say use of volatile organic compounds. So this we need to replace those solvents, right. So these are the some list of solvents that comes under the category of toxic or hazardous solvents, or the solvents which having a adverse effect on environment as well as the human, and those solvents are dimethyl sulfoxide, dimethyl formamide, aromatic solvents like benzene, toluene, xylenes, ethyl benzene and mixylene, like chlorinated solvents, methanol, carbon disulfide, methyl ethyl ketone, right, and carbon tetrachloride, chloroform, dichloromethane. Those are the solvents having a adverse effect or harmful effect on environment and human. How this harmful effect are there? See, problems with the currently used solvent, and currently used solvent we listed earlier. Some of those solvents are carcinogenic, having a high vapor pressure, having a toxic and flammable in nature, and some leads towards the smoke formation. As I said, CFC, that is chlorofluorocarbon, which leads towards the ozone layer depletion, right. So this chlorofluorocarbon is volatile organic compounds, right. So nowadays our approach is to use some greener solvent or some greener alternative compound instead of some volatile organic compounds. So this concept is regarding this green solvent. So now it's time to develop a green solvent which leads to achieve a sustainable development. And sustainable development, I said that develop a chemical process in such a way that without compromising the future requirement, right, we need to promising or give a promising result to demand our present requirement, right. Now we'll see what is the meaning of green solvent, or what are the criteria should be there that can justify our solvent as a green solvent. So most important, it should having a less toxicity, it is having a less volatility, easily recyclable, our green solvent should be no flammable, ease of availability, it should be biodegradable, that means it should be least persist in environment, least persist in environment, that means it should be degraded, right. Higher ability as a reaction medium, and origin of natural and renewable resources. This is the most important, right. So develop a greener solvent which should be having this property. Along with this, develop a green solvent mostly by using the natural and renewable resources rather than the non-renewable resources. So we have these kinds of green solvents. All the solvents we will discuss in detail. So first kind of green solvent is no solvent, then water, ionic liquid. Ionic liquid, that means salts having a very lower boiling point. Organic carbonates, fluorous solvents, supercritical carbon dioxide as well as supercritical water, biosolvents and non-toxic liquid polymer. right? Out of this, today we'll see the no solvent and properties of water in this session. So let us take no solvent reaction. No solvent reaction, that means in our chemical reaction we are not using solvent. So the best solvent sometime is to use no solvent, because if we are using a conventional solvent or something else solvent, that means a regeneration of that solvent, separation of that solvent and recyclability of that solvent we need to think. That means we need to think about the treatment of that solvent. So rather to think about that treatment, it is better to use no solvent, right? If we are not using solvent in our system, that means we did not worry about the remaining steps for the solvent. So many chemical reaction, or I can say bulk chemical reaction, high volume chemicals, that is already produced by without solvents. An example is polymerization reaction. In this, a polymerization of propane which is happening at no solvent, right, in which whatever the catalyst is there in polymerization of propane, which is soluble in liquid propane itself, right. So here to dissolve our catalyst, a solvent is not required. Another example of no solvent criteria is synthesis of MTBE, in which a liquid phase reaction is happening at atmospheric pressure and 90 degree Celsius. Along with this, some industrial polymerization reaction is also happening, in which there is no solvent used, where it is PET, which is commercially produced by melt polymerization, in which the solvent is not used, right. So whenever it is possible, try to develop or try to synthesize your product which is having a no solvent presence. Another is water. Now water is also known as a green solvent. Till this, none of has known that water is having a wide applicability as a green solvent. Why? Because some major advantages of water as a solvents are, but obviously it is non-toxic, it is non-flammable along with the non-polluting, it is widely available in our nature, and moreover that it is inexpensive compared to some other solvents, right. So water has a good potential which can use to solve the properties of our solvent. Along with this advantage, some disadvantages are also there, like corrosion, temperature range also there, right, but advantages are more compared to this our disadvantages. Water is the most environmental friendly solvent which is considered as a green separation process. Why it is widely used and why it is so versatile in nature? Because it's a tunable properties of physical and chemical properties. So we can alter its physical and chemical properties very easily. That's why water is known as a very versatile solvent. Which properties of water are where we can use in an advantageous way in our chemical synthesis, and those properties are like this: acids, salts and alcohol are easily dissolved in water, right. So this is the solubility properties of our water. Another properties of water is water forms hydrogen bond within itself rather than forming the van der Waals force, right. So this is a non-polar molecules. Another is high cohesion and surface tension properties, right, because it generates a strong hydrogen bonds. Along with this, high conductivity of material. Pure water is insulated, but slight impure water is a most conductive material, right. Now water can act as an acid also. This is an example where water can act as an acid, in which NH3 plus water give some NH4 ions, and along with this OH minus ion. In another thing, water can be act as a base also, in which HCl is reacting with water, give them some H2O and Cl minus ion. Right. Another properties of water is its viscosity. Viscosity is very low, having a high specific heat. Heat content is very high, that means 4.1868, right. It is having a high dielectric constant also. Water is having a large cohesive, right, very high heat of fusion, very high heat of vaporization, right, and density of water is also a helpful parameter in our. These all are the properties of water which are very helpful for the chemical synthesis or towards the reaction, right? Out of this, water, or I can say water near to critical point, or I can say another class of water which is supercritical fluid, which is widely used nowadays as a reaction medium. Many of the reactions which are fastly happening when we are using water as a solvent compared to some another organic solvents that we'll see later on, like chemical reaction which is happening in water, right? So this was all regarding the concept of green solvent. In this session we have seen the green solvents, types of green solvents, right? Today we see no solvents criteria and physical properties and chemical properties of water. Right, let us quickly, these green solvents are like ionic liquid, organic carbonates, Florus solvents, supercritical fluid, Balogh solvents, right. Major thing is in a green synthesis is whenever it is possible, try to avoid the use of solvent, right. So these two are the examples that is happening in absence of solvent. Another concept was the water. These are the properties of water, and this is particularly physical and chemical properties which is helpful for the synthesis of any reaction, right. So this was regarding the green solvents of today's session. In the next session we will see the reactions in the presence of water, as well as we will see the supercritical fluids. Thank you so much.